Hi everyone. So this is video 1 of 3. So in this series of videos, I'm going to talk about package management with Conda, and I'm going to use Casper as an exemplary machine. So most of the steps that I'm going to showcase here, you should be able to follow them on some other computer or some other supercomputer and get similar outcome. All right, so in video 1, we're going to see how to download and install conda. And then in video 2, we're going to adjust the configuration of conda and then update the base environment and then install the nb conda kernels package in the base environment. And then in video 3, I'm going to show you how to create a new environment and access that new environment from the Jupyter Hub. All right, so the first thing that you should do is just head over to the terminal and then SSH into your remote cluster. So in this case, I'm already on Casper. And you want to do a couple of things. So you want to make sure that you don't have any Python modules listed. In this case, I don't have any. The reason why you want to do that is because you don't want to install conda and have your system modules activated, because then you'll start running into some conflicts. So now that we know that we don't have any modules, any Python modules installed, let's now head over to our browser. So we want to look at, so I just search for miniconda. In this case, I'm just going to go with the first link here, which should take me to a list of installers. So in this case, we are interested in the Linux installer. So there's a couple of options. Python 2.7, I wouldn't recommend installing Python 2.7. There's Python 3.7 and Python 3.8. So, and as you can see, for Python 3.7, there's only a 32-bit version. So let's just go with Python 3.8. So we want to copy the link and then go back to your terminal. So I'm going to download this file in my home directory. Okay, now that I have my file downloaded, let's just make this file executable. And then now let's run it. So you want to hit enter, and then you see a page of end user license agreement. So if you hit the space bar, you should basically be able to page through this license agreement. And at the end, it will ask you whether you accept the license terms. Type yes. And then once you type yes, it will then propose to you what location to install miniconda. I wouldn't recommend installing miniconda in your home directory because the storage on your home directory is limited compared to other workspaces, at least on Glade. So in this case, I'm going to install miniconda in my work space. So Glade, work, then my username. Then I'm going to put it in this directory called opt, and then miniconda. You want to make sure that this directory doesn't exist. So basically, this miniconda directory doesn't exist. Otherwise, the installer will fail. So now let's hit enter. So the installer is going to unpackage the necessary packages and then create that directory and then put everything there. So it will install a couple of packages, and then at the end it will ask you whether you want to run the install to initialize miniconda 3 by running conda init. And what conda is going to do in the background is going to inspect what shell you're using, and then it will create dedicated initialization scripts for you. So I do yes, and because I'm using bash, it will then put everything that is needed in my .bashrc. So if you just do cat.bashrc, you see that there's this new section here which pretty much has to do with conda. So, and also you'll see that it did tell us that we need to log out and reopen a shell for the effects to, for the changes to take effect. Let's now just exit, and then let's now log back in. Put in my credentials. And then now we'll see this new entry here, so base, which is basically telling us that there's an active conda environment, which is base. So if you do which conda, it should give us the path, and if you do which python, it should point to the python in the base environment. So yeah, so at this point, everything is looking good, and this is the end of the video 1. So I invite you to watch video 2, in which we go over how to adjust the configurations, and then update the conda based environment, and then install some necessary packages. Thank you.